Hey guys, what's going on? Ken Raider here for RayderSports. How are we doing tonight? So, one of the questions I get asked a lot is when am I going to start talking about the XFL? And I give the same answer every time. Once we know at least potential teams, then we will go and talk about the XFL. Because I don't want to sit here and say, oh, XFL Seattle and the Los Angeles franchise. I'd like to have real names involved with these teams. And finally, news broke the other day while I was at work that the XFL has finally registered patents or trademarks with the patent office for five potential names for the XFL Seattle franchise. The five names are the Wild, the Force, the Fury, the Dragons, and the Surge. Now, these at first sound like very generic names, but this is kind of the direction I'm told that the XFL is going. They're being very careful with selecting names that are more PC, so they're going to be more generic. They're going to be more low key. So it's not going to be like Hitman or Maniacs like we had in the first installation of the XFL. And that's also, if you understand wrestling and you follow wrestling, you will understand that even the WWE is in what wrestling fans call the PG era. So you could really say this XFL 2020 XFL version 2 is really going to be the XFL PG era. So it's not going to be as extreme, which, by the way, for that YouTuber who I watched, that's what that's what the X in the XFL stands for. I can't actually believe he actually came out and said, well, nobody's really sure about what the XFL stands for. I mean, these people who are on YouTube right now talking about the XFL, they don't know the history behind the game. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just out there spewing nonsense. And I mean, even End Zone, he even came out and he said, oh, they seem like kids. They sound really young. But they said there were only four names. There's actually five that were registered. They missed a Fury, I believe, in their video. But as I digress, let's get down to the team names and the ones I think are the best to begin with. Or better yet, let's take out the worst names. Okay, the first one, the Wild. The Wild have absolutely no reason why it should be a team name in Seattle. And they're going to be playing in February and March, in which the NHL also plays, and they also have a team called the Minnesota Wild, for those of you who don't follow hockey. So I just believe this little bit of conflict of interest here, and really what's wild about Seattle? I mean, West Virginia, that's wild and wonderful. That's on their signs when you enter the state. Seattle, not so wild. The Force. Now, I understand there's like an Air Force base maybe there or something, but I don't really understand what is forceful about Seattle. There used to be an old arena team called the Georgia Force, and it's just one of those things. It's just too generic. It's not really marketable. I really don't see why that one would be on there. So then we get to my top three: Fury, Dragons, and Surge. And I just believe, how do you market a Fury? I mean, maybe like a River Fury or something. I don't know, but it just seems like it's one of those ones that are just a little weird, a little out there. I mean, it could work, but for me, that's a no-go. And then you come down to Dragons and Surge. Now, either one of these would be great names. I love the idea of dragons. Dragons, being green and mean, would go very nicely with the colors of the emeralds at the Emerald City, in which Seattle is. And with the dragon mascot, you can do so much with it. Helmets and branding, it would work beautifully. And Surge, it's another one of those that are out there, but it does have the double S's, in which all Seattle sports teams have: Seahawks, Supersonics, Storm. So I believe the Surge would work too. But from a branding and a perspective wise, I'd have to say the odds on favorite is the Seattle Dragons. But I have been told that internally the teams already know what the name's going to be. It's just really waiting on the patent, the trademarks, and the legalization, making sure nobody else makes a claim on these names so that they can use them. So that's really all we're waiting for. And so, guys, what's your favorite one? What's your least favorite one? Does Dragons suck? Maybe there's something I missed about Seattle being furious or wild. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments section, guys. And thank you for watching. This is Ken Raider, and I'm signing out.